Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It is a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 11 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that money. I'm going to commit to running whilst vlogging a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So for those regulars will know that when I vlog about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly how these topics can link together to help people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. And it is a beautiful Monday morning today. The sun is shining, it's really nice and warm, a little bit breezy but lovely running conditions, and it's Monday motivation today, where we talk about all things productivity and motivation. And today's topic is the productivity enhancements I've had from running every day for a year. So as always, please give this challenge some support by subscribing to the content and giving it a like and also a share if you can, and let's get started. So, it is streak day 365 today. So, after today, I've officially run every day for a year whilst vlogging. So, tomorrow I'm going to do, my episode's going to be live as I kind of celebrate the fact that we've been doing this now for a year. I'll talk you through the kind of launch plan that we're going to have for the Runpreneur Challenge, which I was going to kick off on the 1st of June, on the 1 year anniversary. But we decided that this event needs a bit more planning and a bit more of a planned launch, as we've been kind of chasing around getting all of the marketing assets and everything set up so far. We haven't really put a lot of time and effort into the launch plan. So by delaying the launch by a month, it gives us that time to do this properly. And it's really, really important that you do this properly to maximise the benefits of the launch. But anyway, today's topic is about productivity. We were talking about productivity and motivation on a Monday, and I wanted to give you a kind of my take home of what's happened over the past year for me from a productivity standpoint. And hopefully this will inspire some people and actually think, you know what, putting yourself outside your comfort zones can genuinely make a difference. Now, if I go back to lockdown one was March time 2020, and I was planning on kind of running London Marathon in April. I was busy at work, had lots of stuff going on at work, but as soon as lockdown hit, it kind of triggered a number of kind of events. And one of them was running events were cancelled straight away. So everything was virtual, and so all of my challenges, my running calendar for that year had been kind of just taken out overnight. So all of a sudden I was struggling with the concept of not having any form of running event that I could kind of work through, and that was a bit of an issue, because as a runner you always need challenges to kind of keep yourself going, and I found that I was missing that. So that was part one. And then the second thing is I was just going through, or just approaching, a breakup in my online business, which is systems and outsourcing, and me and the business partners decided to go our separate ways very, very amicably, and it was all done very, very correctly. So there was no kind of animosity or anything there. But however you slice and dice it, a business breakup is it causes chaos and kind of negativity and uncertainty and all these negative emotions that kind of come with it. So what then transpired is I reached out to my business and marketing mentor, Rob Moore, and I just kind of talked this through with him, and he said, well, look, this is where you're at. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go and embark on a challenge of creating content every day for a year, okay? And morning. And his comments were, if you do this, money and opportunities will never be an issue for you again, okay? And I have heard other marketeers talk about this as well. So I thought, well, you know what? I've got nothing to lose, but I'm such an introverted character. I'm not that front face. I know people see me perhaps a little bit more like that because I've been vlogging every day for a year, but it's not natural for me. I'm not naturally extrovert. I'm not naturally that front-facing person. and I've been massively pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So I knew that the thought of creating a video every day was just going to be horrendous. So I knew that, you know what, I'm going to struggle to do this, and I realised that very early on. So I thought, well, you know what, why don't I try and link the fact that I haven't got any running challenges? Let's create a running challenge and let's coincide it with my marketing and business challenge. So I decided to vlog every day for a year whilst running, and I thought it's great training as well. It's quite difficult to do when you start, getting your breath and being able to talk comfortably whilst running. It's quite a challenge. So the Runpreneur kind of challenge was born, and I always knew what I was going to talk about. That was one good thing, because I do a lot of reading up on business, entrepreneurship, running, so I had loads and loads of stuff I could talk about, so that wasn't a problem. And I've got some really cool ways that I kind of generate my content ideas now in an automated fashion, so which I'll talk to you about in other episodes. And it was born, and we then started doing it, and over the course of the year, what has happened, if I go back to the beginning, well, I had 2 businesses back when this started. Well, one business, because I had my property business and I had systems and outsourcing. Now, systems and outsourcing, we separated, and my business partner Steve Day at the time, he took systems and outsourcing out of his business because he did found it, and there was a kind of a property education kind of, you know, subsidiary of that business, and that's how I met Jack Wicks, who I now work with as a business partner. And so the plan was I was going to go off with Jack. So I had 2 businesses to begin with. Technically there was a period where I only had one. Okay, so I had some conversations with Jack as the separation was going through, and we agreed, let's have a go at this, because I think Jack was a little bit frustrated working with systems outsourcing because there was a lack of focus on what he was doing. And we agreed as systems outsourcing that we were spreading ourselves too thinly. And then there was an e-commerce part of the business as well, which one of the other partners took. And then Steve was left with systems outsourcing as the main business. So it was quite a sensible way to kind of separate. And so me and Jack had a lot of conversations, and he was debating about whether to go in again and do it again, because it hadn't really worked with systems outsourcing. But we agreed to have it give a go, because we were both at a kind of a crossroads, and we decided to have a go. So lo and behold, you know, Property Empire was born, and Property Empire is now kind of grown into this group of companies, which is Property Empire Builder, which is the education business, which was the original. We then had Property Empire Investments, which is the trading company. We had Property Empire Holdings, which is the holdings company, and where we hold our rent-to-rent deals as well. We had Property Empire Construction and Maintenance as well. So there's 4 kind of property businesses that came out of Property Empire. And Property Empire Investments has done very well over the year. It's going through some challenges at the moment, but it's been very, very profitable. Property Empire Builder has been very solid and stable and doing well over the course of the year. Property Empire Holdings is growing. We're taking on more and more assets, and that's really, really exciting, because so much opportunity in that business, and we're growing that every single day at the moment. So that's super, super cool. And Property Empire Construction and Maintenance has kind of managed and worked on 20 plus refurbishment projects, which is exciting. It's got lots of potential, so really, really cool with what's going on there. So and all 3 out of the 4 are profitable at the moment. Construction and maintenance would be, but there's some inefficiencies that we need to iron out, and it then certainly will be moving forward. So 4 businesses were founded there. I then sorted the block of flats that I had and set them up through one of our government-backed lease providers, which was in a separate entity. So that was another company to set up, and that's now highly profitable. So that's doing really, really well. Just see which way I'm going again. I've got to go. I think I'm going right here. I'm running around Norwich today, and I don't know the area very well, so you have to excuse me. I think I'm going right. Yeah, that's right. So that's turned into a property business. We then created Runpreneur as a not-for-profit company. Okay, now obviously that's when we started looking at the fundraising aspects of what this challenge could do, and then obviously the Runpreneur challenge of running every day, of run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance 1 lap around the world to raise £1 million for children's charity was kind of created. So we're about ready to launch that over the coming weeks, which is super exciting. So that was another one. We've got our social media agency, which is all geared up, ready to go, but we're based on everything we've got going on at the moment, we're looking to launch that in autumn. So, and these are all things that have kind of come from the vlog, okay? Because when we created the vlog, we had to create the systems and processes for repurposing content, and now every one of my episodes here today, when I do these vlogs, there's 10.5 hours worth of work that goes on every one, every single day, and it gets repurposed into 34 different formats, and it goes out to every different social media platform in all the different formats, or almost in an automated fashion from my side of things, because I've built the system and process around it. So that's super cool. And throughout the creation of that, so many people have said, "Oh, can you do that for me? Can you do that for me?" And then it was only when I watched a program on Discovery Channel, Undercover Billionaire, that Grant Cardone built a business doing exactly this in 90 days with no startup capital, and his business was valued at $5.5 million in 90 days because of doing repurposing of content for companies and influencers. So there's a huge market there, so really excited to be launching that in the autumn, and I think that's got massive potential. So over the course of this vlog, I've dealt with separations, I've dealt with new business startups, I've dealt with new opportunities, I've dealt with so many different scenarios that have kind of come to the table, and I've dealt with them, I wouldn't say effortlessly, but very smoothly would be the key. And I think if I look back to my past 5 years in business, it's been such a roller coaster, and sometimes it's been incredibly hard. I've faced bankruptcy, I've been so low emotionally, and I feel that this Runpreneur vlog has not only given me a release mechanism through exercise, which is running, but it's almost like therapy when I can just talk things through. And regardless, it's not like I'm talking to someone, but I'm sharing experiences, and I do get messages from people, kind of resonating with what I'm saying and appreciating the open and honesty. And I think it's been so helpful for me. And it has turned into this release mechanism, which is what I talk about in my vlog, about the ability to try to deal with the daily pressures. Every one of us in this world has pressures that arise on a daily basis in the form of stress. And if you don't release them daily or at least weekly, okay, those daily stresses evolve into overwhelm. Overwhelm is you've got so many things going on, so many things to worry about, that you almost have a seizure and you freeze, you procrastinate even more. And very, very quickly, you then start panicking and falling into kind of an anxiety position. And I think when you get to that stage, the damage is done. You're almost at mental breakdown. And it's I've been there, and that's when I faced my most turbulent times. And the fact that I've now kind of got this process in my life which deals with these super stressful situations far more effortlessly means that my productivity levels have gone through the roof. I mean, to give you an illustration or an understanding of how much more productive I've been over this last year, is if I was being brutally honest with you, I've made more progress in all facets of my life over the last 12 months of doing this than I have done in the previous 5 years. Okay, so 500% improvement in productivity levels by having this release mechanism. So the message today isn't about, everybody going run vlog every day for a year. It's about understanding that run vlogging to me is my release mechanism. It helps me process these issues, okay, and these challenges, these pressures every single day in a very effective manner. Allows me to clear my head, understand what's happened, gain clarity, refocus and move on. And without that, I'd probably be a breakdown again with everything I've got going on. But I feel in control, and that's a massive, massive positive for me. And the summary of today is that not only has this been enlightening, it's pushed me to the limits at times when I've run in all kinds of running conditions: hail, snow, fog, light rain, misty rain, torrential rain, 40-mile-an-hour gusts, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. I mean, I've done literally every type of weather condition you could have. I've faced, and it's been freezing. I think I've run in -10. I think I've run in 30 degrees. It's literally so extreme, kind of what I've experienced from doing this, and it's realised how mentally resilient I am, which has given me confidence to carry on. Just missed my turning, really slightly annoying. It's given me confidence that, you know, I've got this, I can deal with this, I could go on to bigger and better things. And I think confidence, I discussed recently about the link between confidence and competence and how they work in tandem. The more confident you are, the more competent you become. The more competent you become, the more confident you then become. So they keep pushing each other up the ladder, and I've found that's been the case with me. And so the message today is that, you know, find a release mechanism. It doesn't have to be exercise, it doesn't have to be vlogging, it could be meditation, it could be reading, it could be walking, it could be listening to music, whatever that could be yoga, whatever it is that takes your mind away from the daily pressures of life and allows you the headspace to clear your head of those. And what we mean by that is process what's happened, you know, understand, gain clarity on where you are, refocus so you know how to address these pressures and clear them, and then clear your head and then move on. And that process alone, for me, has given me a 500% increase in my productivity levels. And if it's done it for me, if you find the right release mechanism for you, it will do the same. So I hope this is useful. It's just been quite therapeutic reflecting on what we've kind of done over the past year. And I'm super proud of what we've done. And I haven't even started the fundraising yet. And I'm super proud of what I'm going to achieve. And I'm so confident about achieving it as well, because I feel I've got the mental resilience to take on anything now and not quit. And that's a really good arsenal to have in your repertoire, so that you can kind of take on the world and conquer. That's pretty much it for me today. Hope that's been useful. Please do give this challenge some support. Check the links in my bios. Okay, if you can't support it financially, just subscribing to the content and sharing and liking it puts it in front of more and more people who potentially can support the challenge financially. And it really will, £1 million really will make a life-changing difference to so many children who need it the most. So it's a super amazing cause I'm so passionate about. And all that's left to say is that the content I talk about, as I've described in this episode today, is how it links with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm, anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. And hopefully you've taken a lot from this episode in how that works and how that can help. So all I'll leave you with, as always, is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.